Howdy YouTube, today we're taking a look at an epic comic book, not really collection, but I haven't been to my local comic book shop for a while. I do have a standing order with them, and yeah, I guess as a result of not going for such a long time, I had quite a few comics to pick up, so I thought I'd show you guys some of the stuff I ended up getting today. We'll start with this dude. He looks absolutely outstanding, and that is the Marvel Select Carnage. Honestly, it looks like one of the better figures I've ever seen in my life. I'm really excited to review this for you guys. Nice shot of Carnage on the side there. Definitely a very cool looking figure. Potentially a contender for my favourite figure of all time, to be honest. Those that have seen my channel, seen my videos, know I'm a big Carnage fan, so that's very exciting. So again, I guess I've got a lot of comics to go through. We'll start on the right over here. We've got Kong of Skull Island. I'm really excited for the movie. It looks like it's set during the Vietnam War. To my knowledge, this is the prequel comic. It looks quite cool, actually. The artwork in it looks fantastic as well. I'm hoping it's going to be a good read. I'm very excited for this, to be honest with you. Samuel L. Jackson in the movie looks fantastic as well. Nice T-Rex. Yeah, so I'm very excited to have a read of Kong of Skull Island. Absolutely there. Godzilla Oblivion. Not a bad series, to be honest with you. Very cartoony artwork, which I wasn't the biggest fan of. The actual story itself was not too bad. Mecha King Ghidorah there. Styling and profiling. This is the Godzilla comic that I'm most keen on, and that is the Rage Across Time. Love the front cover of this one. Hopefully you guys can see that. And the actual artwork inside of this is fantastic too. I feel like if I had a giant painting in my house, I would want it of this front cover. That looks sick. The artwork itself is like an old school style artwork. Check that out. That's pretty sick, to be honest with you. That looks outstanding. So another really cool comic I'm excited to read. Okay, next up we've got some Marvel action. Civil War 2, a very interesting story. I love this retro style artwork. It's like the old boxing fight promos. In particular, that one looks excellent. And then we have the actual Civil War comics themselves. They're quite a good quality comic. Like they feel, they don't feel cheap. And I guess there's not really incentive to buy them. But you do, a bit like the Dark Knight Returns series, you do feel like there's some value in these. And it's a good story as well. Then we've got this series here from part of the Civil War 2. The Daredevil one actually looks quite good. I like the artist that does this particular comic. The Daredevil comics in general have been outstanding. We've got something to do with the Hulk over here as well. And then Deadpool. This one looks good. I believe he fights Black Panther in this issue. Let's see if I can find it. There we go. I'm interested to see what happens in this issue. So, pretty cool. Moving through the Marvel stuff. The next ones we'll take a look at the Carnage comics. You've seen the figure. This is a great series. If you're a Carnage fan or a Venom fan, do yourself a favor and pick these comics up. The story has been outstanding so far. Marvel really have done a good job with the Carnage series, in my view. It is one of the better series. I love that front cover. Check that out. That's pretty sick. Yeah, a really enjoyable story. Really good artwork as well, which definitely helps. Eddie Brock's in there. Yeah, so that's, I guess, the Marvel side of things. So I guess I did lie a little bit when I said that's it for the Marvel side of things. We've got a really cool Spider-Man vs. Deadpool series that's been going on. It's actually a really enjoyable read as well. I love the retro-style artwork that they've done just for this particular issue. But the whole series has been good. You've got to love the trash-talking of Deadpool, and you've got to love the smart-ass nature of Spider-Man. So when the two team up, it makes for a really interesting read. Old Man Logan, one of the best series I've ever read in my life. They're pumping this ad, by the way. But yeah, the Old Man Logan storyline, do yourself a favor, read that. It is some of the most compelling and interesting comic book stuff I've read ever. And that's saying a fair bit. I'm interested to see what happens in these later issues, to be honest with you. But Old Man Logan, definitely a big fan. Why they don't do it for a movie, I'm not sure, because the series itself is outstanding. Then we've got Thunderbolts. I'm not the biggest fan of this series, to be honest with you. I mainly got it for the Winter Soldier, who I love. I'll probably end up cancelling this series, to be honest with you. It's not bad, but it's not compelling enough for me to keep reading. The Punisher, that is outstanding. Really good series. I've got to get behind that. We get Daredevil versus the Punisher. Again, a great crossover. The story's fantastic in that. Basically, there's a drug dealer that Daredevil takes down, but he's on the hit list of the Punisher. What I love about this issue and what's been happening in the story is one of my favourite villains is actually an Iron Man villain, but I've had a mental blank. He's the Soviet Iron Man. What's his name? Crimson, not Crimson Red. Let's see if it says it on the comic here. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Crimson Dynamo, there we go. Okay. Has appeared in the story, and I'm very excited for that. The normal Daredevil series as well has been quite cool on its own. I believe they're bringing out a Bullseye series too, so I'm very excited for that. Great artwork, great design of the characters and everything too. A Year of Marvel's Unstoppable. Basically, the heroes turn evil, I think is the premise behind this comic, so I'm keen to see what happens there. Stinginess of comic books lately. They have been pumping out ads. Whether you go to the movies or whether you read the comics, superheroes are just basically giant advertisement tools at the moment. The movie comic of The Force Awakens. It's not bad. Good artwork. World of Tanks, just a one-off. I was interested to see the artwork and the story behind this. Doesn't look too bad. Devil Dogs, again, more the artwork. Look like that Vietnam type theme, which kind of intrigued me a little bit. Then we get to some Star Wars. Darth Vader, one of the best series I've read. Vader Down was outstanding, and the normal Vader series is really good. Basically, Vader set up to go against the Emperor, takes down a whole heap of these mock or replacement apprentices, if you will. The series is coming to an end. Only 25 comics in the series. We're up to 24 at the moment, but it has been very enjoyable. Then you have the normal Star Wars series set a little bit before the Darth Vader ones. Generally, something happens in Star Wars, and then the fallout occurs in the Vader series. I love these Stormtroopers. They look fantastic. So yeah, that's another really good series. Then we've got Han Solo. It's not bad. I'm not a big Han Solo fan, to be honest with you. I think Harrison Ford really damaged the character for me. Just the amount of crap he talked about the franchise really put me off Han Solo, which is a shame because he's going to appear in Rogue One, which looks like a really good movie. Poe Dameron, the prequel to the new movie, is, I guess, told in this story. It's all about how he gets the plans and how he ends up on that planet at the start of the movie. So again, not a bad series, not the best, if I'm honest, though. Next up, we've got James Bond. Not a lot of dialogue in these comics, and as I say that, all the pages I flick through have lots of dialogue. More of an action-based comic. I'm a big fan of James Bond. The comic itself, hit and miss. The first few issues, the story that they told there, I don't think was all that great. It has been getting better over time, though, which I guess is a good thing. Hopefully, it picks up a little bit more. The James Bond in here is much more of a vicious, brutal James Bond, to be honest. Street Fighter G.I. Joe, a great crossover. Not the biggest Street Fighter fan. I do love my G.I. Joe. And this comic series was a fun, entertaining read. 4001 AD, I have no interest in reading this actual comic. I merely got it just for the artwork on the front. I love that Dragon City monstrosity. And the actual artist that does the comic book itself is fantastic. It's one of the nicer looking comics. Like, check that out. That looks seriously cool. Then we have Black Panther. Really, the artwork in this killed it for me a little bit. I mean, it's good for what it is, but I don't know. I was expecting something a little bit different in Black Panther. The villains as well, I don't think were all that great, if I'm totally honest. I wish it had some better villains. We've got Apocalypse on the front here. We've got a really cool Venom, Extraordinary X-Men. This has been a great series lately. Good artwork, good story, everything you want in a good comic book. Venom Space Knight. I really haven't been reading this series. Again, I more got this one for this particular issue just because Space Venom fights Spider-Man, and I thought that was a read. I'm not a big fan of this particular design of Venom. That's the Venom that I grew up and I love. Then we get to some Dark Horse comics. We've got Alien Defiance, one of the better Alien series that is out there. Do yourself a favour, and whether you get the individual issues or you get the trade paperback of this, it is a very enjoyable read and a really good story. Basically, a bunch of synthetics gets sent with a Marine to investigate a ship, and standard alien storyline there. But it is told really, really well. Prometheus, Fire and Stone, linked with the Predator series and also the Alien series that was before this. More getting it just for the sake of completeness and getting the full story. I'm not the biggest Prometheus fan, but I do love Alien and Predator, and it is linked. Judge Dredd, cool looking series. The artwork in this looks fantastic. First comic in the set, so I'm hoping it's going to be a good series that I can keep. A great crossover. They did it a few years ago, and now it's back. Predator, Judge Dredd, and Aliens. Doesn't get much better than that. Good artwork as well, and I'm hoping it's going to be a really good story. Last but not least, we come to the DC segment. We've got the Harley Quinn Suicide comics here. The artwork looks good. The actual story itself, I'm not sure. A lot of people love Harley Quinn. I need to have a read of these to see if I really enjoy it. I haven't checked them out just yet. So I'm interested to see the Suicide Squad movie itself. It was a fun movie. It wasn't a great movie by any means. I think I preferred Batman vs Superman, which could be interpreted as saying a lot. This comic series looks fantastic. The artwork in here looks great. Diablo, I think, was one of the better characters in the series. Hopefully you can see as I flick through this, just the amount of ads they have in comic books is kind of ridiculous. But yeah, this series looks really good. I'm excited to read that. Suicide Squad Rebirth. More ads. The artwork in this looks quite nice. We'll see what happens in that storyline there with Amanda Waller. The War Crime Special. I've heard this is a really good story, but again, I haven't read it just yet. It is actually quite a thick comic book. All-Star Batman, I was very excited for this one. The cover is made out of a really good material. I'm not sure what it is, but it does feel really nice. Artwork looks good. Story looks good. And I'm hoping it's going to be a really good read. Very nice indeed. Red Hood and the Outlaws. I've been enjoying the Red Hood comic book series. So I'm hoping they do something good with this. Deathstroke, one of the best series, one of my favourite comic book series is the Deathstroke series. I've been reading it since they rebooted it in 2014, 2013, 2014, around then. And love the artwork, love the story, love the character. Then we've got Aquaman and Wonder Woman. I'm actually giving these a miss. I'm probably going to cancel the series. They started off good with Black Manta, but the story just wasn't compelling enough on that side of things. And the Black Manta didn't really do all that much. With Wonder Woman, it's a little hit and miss. Half the comics are really cool, this art style. They're set in the past. They're really good. Then the other half, I'm not a big fan of. Detective Comics Batman, I'm loving it. Love Clayface, love Batwoman. Love the story in this. More ads, although this is a pretty good one. There you go. Eat a Snickers, Wonder Woman. Yeah, Detective Comics I'm a big fan of. Enjoying that series. This series I really enjoy, apart from the fact that they're really pushing Superman's son. The backstory behind this comic, I guess, is that Superman from the original universe before the New 52 survives, and then he comes back. Here he's versing the Eradicator. But yeah, the son I'm not a big fan of just yet. That cover looks fantastic. I'm interested to see what's going on there. Justice League, good artwork. Hopefully the story is good. Action Comics, this is all about the battle with Doomsday. This is probably one of my favourite DC series. Doomsday looks outstanding. I'm a big fan of Doomsday, whether it be in the Superman Doomed series or in this latest Action Comics run. They've done a really good job with him, in my view. New Superman, it's worth giving this one a miss. Not a big fan of Chinese Superman. I think it could have been good. I was hoping it'd be similar to the Soviet Superman, Red Sun. Unfortunately, it was not. Supergirl from the animated series, not bad. I more get this because I want to support the show. The actual comics themselves are nothing too special. Superwoman, on the other hand, is fantastic. I did read this first issue. Great artwork, and I'm excited to see what they do with this. And then last but not least, we've got good old Batman, which you can't go wrong with. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this review on my massive comic book haul.